Okay, guys, welcome. This is Vilisink as always, man. So today I wanted to just go through Scyl of the Drakes. She is a champion that you get after 6 months of playing this game. When 180 days, this is your reward. This is what Palladium give to you as a thank you, or maybe it's not a thank you, but in my opinion, it should be because she's potentially the best login champion that you're going to get. Yeah, potentially the best login champion. So quickly, we'll check her skills because she's just an amazing champion for progression, for arena, dungeons, doom tower. You can use her in clan boss, take her into the keeps if you want. You can pretty much put her anywhere. Clan boss is more make her tanky. She can revive. Her other moves don't really work on clan boss as much and some dungeon bosses, but she is extremely universal. Her Drake's swiftness attacks one enemy, 20% chance of placing a 30% decrease speed debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 30% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. So you can go in with an A1, attacks one enemy, which is fine, 40% chance when booked, 20 on base, of placing a decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, 30% decreased speed, so you're taking away 30% of your opponent's speed. Also, you have the chance of decreasing the turn meter, which is kind of really good. It kind of makes your enemy just have to stand there and look stupid. You slow them down, you're then taking their turn meter away. If this procs, there's a 30% chance. As an A1, it's extremely strong. I've used this in the arena, all the dungeons. Since I've got her 6th aid, I've been taking her anywhere, even if she doesn't need to be in the team, just for the sake of having her there. Because she's so good. The decreased speed, this A1 is actually really good. And turn meter for myself normally it does proc with the decreased speed. And as you can see, I don't have books as of yet, but I think maybe just RNG or luck. But this is a really good A1. Wing Beat Flurry. Attacks all enemies 2 times, which is good. We like multi-hits. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. So stun, one of the best ways to CC. If you got somebody that's about to take a turn, you stun them, they lose all their turn meter. That's the bonus of stun. If you sleep someone, their turn meter still fills up. They're only sleeping until you hit them. But if they're stunned for a turn or 2 turns or 3 turns, whatever it is, you can beat the hell out of them and they ain't going to wake up, they're still stunned. And their moves do not cool down. So if your dude had 2 turns before he had his nuke, you'll still have 2 turns, but he's going to have to wait because he's stunned. So potentially the best CC in the game. So it is attack all enemies and it hits twice. So obviously each hit has a chance of placing a stun. So if you don't get it on the first one, chances are you will get it on the second one. In my experience, when I've been using her, I get at least 3 out of 4 stuns, 2 out of 4 minimum, whether it's in any type of content. She's very, very good at stunning people. She's good at decreasing speed. She's just good in general. So for an A2, it is great as a stun. You can also put her in a stun set if you chose to. Phoenix Right revives an ally with 50% HP and places a 50% ally protection buff on them for 2 turns. So this is really good. This is why I took her for a clan boss. I had HP gear on her. I was still able to get 3k defense. I have swapped the gloves, but to revive an ally with 50% HP, and obviously I have apothecary that can heal. There's Gross if I choose to put him in. That's really good, but on its own, 50% HP and then 50% ally protection, so 50% of the damage you're taking, she'll take because she'll protect you. That is just a key for keeping you alive. This is a very strong move. It is 6 turns, so when I use it, I am thinking to myself how many turns left because I don't have books. If this was in a 4 turn cooldown, this would be insane. This literally would be insane. This is a really good A3. The fact that the ally protection comes up It gives people like Skull Crusher, Miscreated Monster, Rearguard Sergeant, or what's the Jareg, or somebody like that does eye protection. You can give them a break so they can take less damage. So there's really no fault with our kit. There's no fault with our kit whatsoever. So I'll base that on just being a bit of a badass, and she pulls it off well. So this is every single turn. Heals all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. So every time she takes a turn, she heals by 10%. Also places the big version increased speed buff on a random ally for 2 turns. It is random, I'm not sure if it's the lowest HP, the person with the least turn meter, or no buffs. But the increased speed is really good. Heals all allies by 10% every time she takes a turn. So I could make her even faster. She's 194. I could make her even faster, so the heals are coming back a lot sooner. For a passive, this is one of my favourite pretty much in the game. I think it's part of the reason why I want to take her everywhere. Because the more HP I give my allies, the more they're going to heal for nothing. She's just going to take a turn before she does anything. It's instantaneous. You will see the 10% heal. And just imagine Scyl of the Drakes. And then you get a big Kriskina shield set with 150k. You then get Mountain King with 130, 140k. And then you can get Tower or somebody. Just people that have over 100k HP. You just imagine the heals per turn. They would never die with the constant shielding. With her kit, obviously, with the stuns and decreased speed, increased speed. It'd be a recipe for just disaster. It would annoy the hell out of people. So as a login award champion, I have to say she's potentially one of the best. One of my favourites by far. There's nothing you can really do that's wrong with her. I mean, I could show you dungeons, but let's see if we can, because you will get her and you will use her. I have no idea what that 1 minute 55 is. So let's see, the dragon is not really important, but it's the way, it is, but let's just leave this team in for just now and see how we look during the waves. I took her into dragon because I never used to take a reviver. Used to always say to myself, what the hell? So that's why I had, for instance, Nethril. I'd have monsters to CC, and then the rest were based around decreased defense, decreased attack, just anything else really. But now I've got a reviver, I can be reckless, and if I lose somebody, then I don't really care because I can revive them. And if you hit level 20 dungeons, then after 6 months, I'm not saying you're going to be there, maybe you've had really crappy luck. I'll show you my champions. I've pulled terrible ones. It took me longer than that to get to certain dungeons on 20. Also, kind of never played them that much, but when you get to any 20 dungeon, let's just say Ice Golem or let's say Dragon, the waves will one-shot you 1,000,000%. Understand it, because it's true. They will just, the hordes will run over, kill you, you're dead. There's just no sorrow whatsoever. What's this dude here that's done? What's his name again? Cannot remember, but I don't have one. I need to remember this dude's name, because he's usually clan boss. He's extremely tanky, second guy from the left, next to Horden. This is also a big threat in Dragons 20. He's got a lot of HP, and he hits really hard. Regardless whether it's his AoE or it's his single hits, he hits really hard. So, coming in here with one reviver, Kyle is only here for the dragon, don't care about anything else. He'll hit the wave, that's fine. Scyl is here to support everybody as a single reviver. I never used to take one in, so we can be reckless, which means we can take Royal Guard, we can take Kale, we can take Monster, who I would put out for somebody potentially like Cold Heart sometimes, just to see how the teams go. And I've done so much variations with Scyl, and she's just been so bloody good. She's been amazing. I've took scyl. I have pretty much put in scyl. I've put in arbiter. I've put in Sandra, and like I think I put in a lot of people that didn't do a lot of damage, just to see how they would get on. And yeah, they actually did pretty good. Took a hell of a long time before I stopped it, but they were healing each other. They were cleansing debuffs off each other, helping out each other. So there's many compositions to use. I don't think she has a dungeon that's kind of not built for her. You can even take her in spider. Just all that spiderlings, you can mess them up with a stun set. And then if you have somebody else with HP burn, if you wanted to be cruel, you could do that, or freeze. You could take scyl into ice golem, because the ally protection, if you get a death on the second wave due to shriek, give ally protection. Also takes a little bit of the strain off of miscreated monster, because that will kill a monster if the shriek is up quick and you're constantly doing big damage, therefore you're doing half of that to yourself. So do not be afraid, because I've done a lot of these runs and I've lost. I've came in big headed, doing very weird compositions with scyl because it's so much fun, and I've lost a few, and I've won a few, but that's just part of it. But as you can see, we're healing every turn. 4 minutes is not necessarily the worst time for this team. Kale is more accuracy based on damage. War Maiden's only got like 50% crit. Monsters got 80 and 90% crit. Obviously Royal Guard is over 100, and Syl, because I gave her the HP gloves, she has maybe like 15-20. So we're not hitting necessarily hard. We're just sustaining life long enough to get poisons on the dragon. And every now and again we have a Royal Guard with a takedown. But the main purpose is to get the poisoner to the dragon so the poisoner can kill the dragon. And that's it. 4 minutes 23 seconds. And there was absolutely no danger there whatsoever. You can take her into keeps. I could show you Ice Golem, but it's the same thing. Especially with the Ice Golem himself when he does that big slam. If you have Syl and you've played long enough to have Grush. Grush now heals after the Ice Golem smacks you. So, like, randomly, just mute her for a second. So if you have 10% heal from Syl every turn, you've got the leech from Grush, and every time you take a hit, Grush heals you. That's just a recipe for something really cool. So, Maneater has his masteries now. So, Syl doesn't have any. I'm not sure how fast this will be, but we need to take... We'll put in some damage, so let's just say we wanted to take in... We have decreased defense, I think. Oh, if we're getting a reviver, let's take in the camping farmer, who is basically built for campaign. And it's the same, dragon's the same as Ice Golem, it's just some of the mechanics in the waves are different. But what Syl does, regardless of where it is always the same. She's healing you, increasing your speed, she's stunning your opponents, she'll revive you, she'll give you allies protection help, to decrease the turn meter for that opponent, so potentially you can go in front of them and do your attack. So I think there may be a mistake. Players need to look back and say to themselves, why did we give people Syl? Why? Because she is an amazing champion, an absolutely amazing champion for 6 months. And after 6 months of playing this game, grinding, if you're free to play especially, if you're free to play, you need a little pick-me-up now and again. I played this game to start with. I could have spent money, but I didn't. And I haven't. I'm basically free to play as it is. Oh, nice. Increased defense. So if you're free to play, 6 months, you need a pick-me-up. You need a champion. You need something that's kind of like a thank you for all your hard work. And the fact that you've waited 6 months, it would have been really annoying to wait 6 months for Lordly, Legionary, or Yaga. don't you think? Get somebody that is pretty much, if you get her from wherever, you could pull her from a shard, it's irrelevant. She will help your progression in campaign. She's helped me complete a lot of my nightmare campaign. It's with another person. She's dragon, ice golem, fire knight. I'm going to take her in there to mess around. So, as a champion, player need to realise that she was really good. I realised that she was really good, and that's what the player base need. Which will help you progress no matter what point you are. She's an absolute demon. I will show you the stats. We'll go to full stats. I'm not sure I did, so don't want to be rude. So 49,000 HP. It was 60. But like I say, I gave her more defense because she was like 3,100 something because I had HP gloves. We have no crit rate, which I could put on potentially, but I'm happy having her tankier, higher HP, higher defense. And like I said, I can get to 3,000 defense. And I'm pretty sure I just had to put these gloves on. They were HP before. This is all one defense item and accuracy. So apart from 225 defense, I can get to 3,000, which is a pretty good feat. Master Rays I will work on at some point, because she will benefit Master Rays just to especially try to get the stun to last for longer, or get the extra 5% chance to land it. Accuracy, if you choose to go in the support tree, you can go in the defense tree if you have accuracy, which is what I may do. I don't really want to take this build off because it works really well. If I change my gloves over again, then I'm back to more HP. That's totally fine. So I think that's pretty much it. She's a reward for 6 months. She's absolutely amazing. Please guys, when you get her leveled up even to 50. If she's a 50, she's damn good, but she's a 60, she's better. She is a champion that you need. She will help you progress no matter where you are in the game. And if you don't need progression, she will just take you into places and make it easier. Faction Wars, for instance. Faction Wars, she is pretty much guaranteed to help you complete Faction Wars with that revive in her kit and the stuns. So we'll leave it there, guys. But that's the review of Scyl of the Drakes. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't want to really bore you taking you through everything, unless I can get on a speed team to make it quicker, but that kind of defies the point. But nonetheless, we're 6 months in. You're going to get Scyl. User, abuser, whatever you want to do, because she'll help you in every single part of this game. I'm Vilisink. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.